Hey, what's up? I'm glad you made it here. This is Roder MMA Bet, and this is arguably the most comprehensive and profitable betting channel advice for MMA fights in YouTube. I have been betting MMA and the UFC for 8 plus years with consistent results, and that's what you're gonna be getting here. This is a quick intro, and you're gonna be seeing soon the results track I'm referring to, the fights breakdown, and how I'm betting the card. Feel free to leverage my strategy, but take it with a grain of salt, as this is your money on the line. If you like this idea, you like what I'm doing here, subscribe to this channel and share with your friends. Enjoy the analysis. Let me know your thoughts on the comments sections down below, and good luck with your bets. This video will be covering UFC 256, the early prelims. If you're familiar to my channel, you know how to use this spreadsheet to your best interest. You know what these color codes are. And if you'd like to skip to the breakdowns, there are timestamps in the description of the video in respect to everyone's time. If you have never seen the spreadsheet and you don't know about my results, bottom line, I'm keeping track of everything I'm doing from July, and I have simplified these charts here. In a total of 29 events, I have 384% profit, or nearly 13% per event, or 76.82 per month. Alright, so this is how I'm doing. Just to recap, in the last event was not a good event for me. I basically lost 4.3% my overall total money, but from a card perspective, I was down 60%, right? So this is just to let everybody know that I'm not hiding anything. All my wins or losses, it's covered here, okay? If you would like to have access to the rest of the things, leave in the comment section below your contact. I'll reach out to you and we can see more VIP partnership, let's put it this way. So just in a sum up, this color codes means that when it's yellow, it means that I'm betting this guy here, in this case Gavin Tucker, is a medium confidence, and this is the total money that I'm betting. The rest of the guys are all low confidence, and these are the people that I'm either betting straight lines or also parlaying these guys. All right, so on to the breakdowns. I'm gonna be covering, like I said, the early prelims. I'm trying to be quite concise here, not to extend too much on this video, but feel free to read all of these comments. I think they're worth your time. Chase Hooper versus Peter Barrett. Guys, this is kind of simple fight not to predict, but to, you know, for the outcome. It's totally dependent on whether Chase Hooper gonna be able to bring Barrett to the ground, which I think he can. You know, Hooper is a very tough guy. He's super young, like 21. He still doesn't look like he's fully developed. You know, he has sort of this teenager face, and also his body doesn't look like still at his you know, full potential. But still, he's a very tough guy. You know, don't get it wrong. His strike looks sloppy, but he has improving it over time. He doesn't have that bad hands. His problem that he totally, you know, comes forward in the straight lines, the chin is up. You know, he throws ladder. He's not afraid to eat shots because he has such a strong chin. You know, but still he's already accumulating damage in early his career, and if he does again these mistakes, I think Peter Barrett gonna stand his ground, gonna try to bang with Hooper. I think Hooper gonna, you know, somehow butt heads with Peter Barrett, gonna try to somehow bring to the ground, trying to, you know, get a body lock, use his body weight, have some leg trips. It's kind of a BJJ kind of thing. I think he's able to take Peter Barrett down, and the Barrett is not the best technical fighter ever, but he's super tough. He's not a small guy either. Barrett is lean, he's strong, you know, and he doesn't have that many fights, but he's a veteran. He fights like a veteran, so he will try to win this fight. You know, Peter Barrett also has good takedown defense. Takedown defense is good, but submission defense is also not bad. But in general, he toughs out things, you know, which I think most likely he's gonna lose the first round, but becomes interesting from the second, because I'm totally not convinced if Hooper is really, you know, gonna come in an improved version, gonna be able to take Barrett down repeatedly. You know what I mean? So there is a question mark there, but the pick is Hooper. I'm picking by decision because I think Barrett's so tough to finish, but definitely, you know, Hooper by submission at plus 400, plus 500 is worth your money. I don't think you're going to be able to find these lines, but still, take a look. Now Barrett, maybe by decision. You know, take a look on Barrett by decision. I don't think he can finish Hooper because he doesn't have that much power, but he can, you know, make Hooper dig deep, and Hooper can get tired. He can lose this fight based on you know, a grinding battle. And also Barrett by decision plus 600 is definitely a good bet in my opinion, so take a look into that as well. Okay, so but to sum up, Hooper by decision is the pick, and I'm gonna be betting Barrett also if he climbs up to plus 320, plus 350, which I think it's gonna happen. Okay, so it's super small bet obviously because I'm not confident, but still I think there's so many questions on Hooper that there's worth a small step on Barrett. Jingliang versus Dwight Grant. Jingliang is a guy that likes to strike, likes to move his head, not bad footwork. Actually doesn't move much his head, I'm sorry, but he actually moves well his feet. So he's good in, you know, cutting some angles, throwing some shots, move inside, come back, you know. He likes mostly, he's better with the hands, you know. He can kick a little bit, but it's not outstanding. He doesn't throw it often enough. He, in terms of, you know, grappling, he's pretty, you know, decent. He has good takedown defense. He also can shoot eventually, you know, but I don't think it's going to be a factor in this fight. The way I see this playing out is Jingliang trying to move inside, you know, and Dwight Grant actually has an odd style of fight. He kind of puts, he turns himself back, you know, kind of leans back on the fight until he's ready to throw those bombs, you know. And when he does, he's got nasty power. He's very wild, you know. He throws like those shots, like looping and leaping shots. It's kind of weird to watch, and also it's very wide, but still he has power, like I said. And he likes to be a counter fighter, which is gonna be interesting in this fight because Jingliang, he doesn't have the best reach, you know. So just have to fix this one. So I'm back here. So yeah, Grant doesn't have the reach advantages, which is gonna be interesting, you know, because he's gonna have to get inside to land, to try to land, and Grant's gonna throw back, you know, basically. Grant gonna wait until he throws those wild hooks and comes back. The thing that Grant always finds himself in this type of matchups, and he oftentimes is in close edges, you know, and he's got the power advantage here, like I said, so it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. See, I'm gonna be picking Lee because I think he's gonna be able to throw more volume. Basically, he can land more leg kicks. He can go for more jabs to the body, you know, clinch a little bit. So he's the more complete fighter. Also has much more experience. But Grant's not out of this fight, especially in these close edge decisions. He can, you know, stay back, sit back until Jingliang comes to his range and he throws, and then Jingliang blocks. Jingliang tries again, but they can end up in this kind of trades and this kind of battles where it's difficult to tell who's winning, you know. So the pick is Lee by decision. Now in terms of bet, take a look on Lee by decision, plus 400, Grant plus 500. And if it's gonna be TKO, I think gonna be on Grant's side, so plus 600. If not, just skip this fight. I think it's a weird fight to bet, you know, and I don't think there's value on these lines on either of these guys. Karl Roberson versus Dalcha Lungiambula. Dalcha is like a physical specimen. This guy has really crazy power, you know. If you guys have never seen him, you know, put him on Google, you're gonna see how these guys look like. Looks like a, you know, a bodybuilder, you know, but super explosive and lean, you know. And yeah, the thing that this guy is very wild, you know. He doesn't have the best technique anywhere, you know. He kind of throws wild shots, but he's kind of aware that he cannot go crazy, you know. So I think most of his fights he kind of stays in the outside until he explodes, you know. But I'm not sure he's gonna, you know, do well against Roberson. The question that I have on Dalcha is how strong he's gonna be as a middleweight, because he's coming down. He was already very strong as a light heavyweight, so it's just, you know, unreal to see this guy coming to the middleweight. But and I don't know how crazy he's gonna come. You know, if he comes crazy, like brawling, like you know, just getting to Roberson's face and throwing everything he has a good chance. You know, has some chance. But the most likely it's Roberson by decision here, and I think Roberson, he's also a strong guy himself, you know. He's not a small middleweight at all, very explosive guy, you know, not super technical, but very good technique on the kickboxing. He throws good straight punches, leg kicks, you know. He also can clinch, he can go for body locks, take guys down, he go for arm triangle chokes. So Roberson is definitely the more complete fighter. He's gonna be throwing way more volume than Dalcha. So I think the safest pick is Roberson. And I'm also parlaying Roberson, I think 0.75% of my money. So I think there is a small value as a parlay on Roberson, but don't go crazy because, like I said, Lungiambula, he can go crazy himself, gets to Roberson's face, and this guy, he can basically fight anyone in this style, you know, and win the fight. Now, in terms of prop bets, take a look on those numbers that I put here. All right, Sergey Spivak versus Jared Vanderaa. This is not an easy fight to call because Vanderaa, I would like to see more footage on him. I haven't found much, you know. I saw his last fight in another one. He's a big guy, you know, on top of the division, really big, heavyweight, big fists, you know, tall guy, 6'4", 6'5", good reach, 8 inches. So he's a big guy, and he's got a good left hook. You know, he wants to wait for the opponent to come in to throw the left hook, throw right hand behind. He's got natural power, good leg kicks too. You know, he also can come inside of the guy, you know, clinch, use his body weight to take the guy down, which he will try to do, I think. But Spivak, despite the fact that he's not the best heavyweight, he's kind of also a quite small heavyweight, but he kind of fights smart. He doesn't use too much his energy when he doesn't need to. He likes to use, you know, some decent 1-2s. He throws it pretty straight, you know, he has good accuracy. His sambo wrestling is also good. He can go for single legs, you know, switch to doubles, control the guys a little bit. So it's not an easy fight to call. Actually, I'm kind of tempted to bet Vanderaa, but you know, at the end, I'm quite confused again on this fight, you know, because I think most likely it's Spivak by throwing a little bit more volume of Vanderaa, because Vanderaa also doesn't have that aggressive style, you know. Like I said, he likes to wait a little bit on his opponent. So when the opponent comes, he blocks the shots and comes back heavier. So, but Spivak not gonna give him too much chances in this regard, you know. He's not gonna be, you know, crashing distance and coming to brawl with Vanderaa. Spivak gonna try to fight on the outside, be smart about it. So it's kind of back and forth here. If you like someone here, go for Vanderaa, you know, even though I'm picking Spivak. I'd say that the value is in Vanderaa, or it's a pass again, you know. Now in terms of decision, take a look on Spivak by decision. There's a good chance, or even Vanderaa, you know, because Vanderaa can land the heavier shots, or Spivak can circle more. But I don't think Vanderaa gonna be able to, you know, finish Spivak, because I don't think Spivak gonna give him the opportunity, not because Vanderaa not gonna have enough power, and also Vanderaa is not the most aggressive guy, like I said. So I think this is gonna go to the decision. But if you like Vanderaa also by TKO, take a look in a big prop bet. You may have some value there. Now the Gavin Tucker versus Billy Quarantillo, the fight that I'm putting Tucker in a bet is a medium confidence, so it's Tucker here, guys. And let me just give you guys a rationale why. I think the way I see this fight, okay, this is obviously, if you guys have been following my channel, the bets actually, this is, you know, just a parenthesis here. Bets are based on things that you assume that's gonna happen, and assuming, given that assumption, you give you check the lines, and you see if it makes sense for you, if you think there is value. To me, there's a value on Tucker, and the reason why is Quarantillo striking. I see Quarantillo mostly with some lack of power. You know, he's tough, he moves forward, but he doesn't have that much power. Also, Quarantillo is a taller guy here, but in terms of reach, not that, maybe he has a reach advantage and everything, but Quarantillo doesn't use that too well, at least from footage that I have seen, you know. He likes to bang a little bit, so he will try to probably get inside of Tucker, you know, try to throw volume, but it's not that big reach advantage. Quarantillo is not the super technical guy that throws lots of jabs, right hands behind, move out. He kind of goes forward because he's always looking to clinch. I don't think Tucker gonna give him the opportunity. Tucker's super fast, he's explosive, he's athletic. I see him landing overhands and left hooks when Quarantillo comes in, and even if Quarantillo wants to clinch, Tucker is very compact, he's very strong. I think he's gonna get out of the way, or he's gonna counter Quarantillo himself, you know, with some legs, leg trips, you know, or judo throws, whatever, you know. So I think Tucker is so strong, you know, it's gonna be difficult for Quarantillo to win this fight, in my opinion. And besides the fact that Tucker, he's the better athlete, he's faster with the footwork, and I see him landing more on the feet. I think he has fixed his cardio issues that he had in the past, the disappointing loss he had against Ricky Clan. So I'm also assuming that he's going to bring good cardio here. If he doesn't, he has a good chance to lose this fight, it's for sure. But I'm assuming that he's going to bring good cardio, as he did in his last couple of fights. Plus, in terms of grappling, Quarantillo and Tucker, they're quite similar, you know, in terms of technique. But again, I see Tucker has such a speed advantage, and that translates to the ground as well. So I see him being able to, you know, be one move ahead of Quarantillo. At least he's not one move ahead. He can get out
you know, if he wants to, he's strong enough for that as well. And he can just go back to the feet, continue landing his faster shots, you know. So that's why I'm betting Tucker. I think he's a stronger, faster guy, more power, better on the feet, technique in terms of grappling, pretty even. But I still imagine Tucker because he's faster, like I said. Quarantillo, you know, I'm not criticize the guy. Don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter, super tough guy, ready to bang. You know, he won great fights. He won against Spike Carlisle. I think he was a survivor there, you know, and also showed his technique. So this guy is for real. Don't get me wrong. You know, I'm not hating on Quarantillo. Opposite. You know, I'm just trying to analyze this fight the best way I see, and the way I see is Quarantillo with some lack of athleticism and strength, and you know, lack of power. Plus, I don't think he has a super technique on the feet to edge this fight, right? Guys, that's what we'll be doing for the breakdown. Now, in terms of bet, I'm gonna be just wrapping this up. And like I said, if you're interested in the VIP list of my channel, please let me know in the comment section below. And if not, please subscribe to the video, share with your friends, show some support to the channel. So, as we have discussed, I have a bet on Karl Roberson, a parlay, 70.75% of my money, so it's less than 1%. Bets that I also had, fights that we cover here was Chase Hooper versus Peter Barrett. I'm waiting on Barrett, maybe at plus 350. I'm gonna be waiting, you know, now it's at plus 320, so I'm gonna be waiting a little bit. Jingliang versus Dwight. I'm passing on this fight. I'm passing on Spivak versus Vanderaa. This fight has been covered in the main event. Take a look at in the main card, take a look in the other video. And what else we covered here? Yeah, Gavin Tucker versus Billy Quarantillo. My biggest bet of the card, my most confidence here on Tucker. It's going to be 3% of my money. Alright, so that will do for this card, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, again, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. And until next time, this is Rodder Bet, bringing the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.